welcome to the review class tonight. I can hear you, Chike. Yeah, you can start recording. You can start recording. And if there's any other person using laptop, if you can also please help us record the meeting. Or is it just one person that can record, Chike?
The person has to ask for permission for me.
Anyways, if there is any other person using laptop and you have the option to record, please help us record the class. Okay. Please ask for permission from the host, right?
Yeah.
Chike, I think you're still the host, so you can make.
Yeah, I'm still the host. So the thing is that if anyone wants to record, the person can request for permission, so I can grant the person permission. So let me make you host in case because this network, I don't trust the network.
Okay.
So let me just make you host. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, please do that. All right. Good evening, everyone. Trust we're good, and we've had a great week so far. Today is Wednesday. It's been how many hours into the week? Almost 60-something hours, and I'm sure we've been productive with it, work, business, and everything. So good evening. We're here for the review. I'm sure we all got the assignment on the page, and we already started working on it. So what's the assignment again? Let me go through. So our assignment this week is write about the cash flow quadrant. So next week, that Saturday, is supposed to be our course outline is supposed to be career options in real estate and economic opportunities in the real estate industry. So the assignment are to prepare us towards the lectures. So write about the cash flow quadrants. You may need to okay, don't let me tell you how to go about it. Write about the cash flow quadrant and then define the following terms: agency, realtor, brokerage firm, network marketing, rental income, flipping, commission. Yeah. After this assignment, you should be better prepared to have the lecture on Saturday. So like I said, we're going to be having a guest tonight, and I didn't want you to miss this for anything. I'm sure last week was swell for us. You're going to be fired up this week also, because I've got my good friend here. So I informed him quite late, but then I'm sure he's up to the task. So he was like telling me that, hey, he's reserved though. Does he think he can do this? But I'm sure he can do it, because he does even much more than he'll be required to do tonight. So I'm sure we'll be very, very encouraged tonight after the session with him. Just a few things to get out of the way before he comes on. I also sent on the group page the progress card. The progress card is to help us to keep track of our commitment, like I told you last week. So we have the ASS, which is the assignment, OVR, which is the overview, and REV, which is the review. So our representative for that, I'm careful to use the word class prep yet, because we've not gotten that. But then we've had a few people who's been doing very good in helping us to put things together. Thank you very much, Mrs. Toby Adeyeye. Is she here already? Mrs. Toby, thank you very much. I think you all get to hear from her. She calls you, right? Am I right? You get calls from?
Yeah. She called me before. She's called me once. I think before the last meeting. Yeah.
Okay, very good. So I get her to call us round to remind us of the meeting, and also we've got Chike, who's been setting up the meeting for us, and we've got Cyril, who also sent us messages round once, and then Abigail is going to be helping us to take the attendance tonight also. So we've got people doing different things, and I really want to appreciate you for helping the work and supporting what we're doing. So the progress card would help you to keep track of your progress in the Real Estate Academy, to help you know whether you're doing well or not. Because if you don't have a track of your commitments, you may not necessarily know how you need to brace up or otherwise. So I'm going to be taking an attendance after the meeting tonight. Abigail will help us with that. And also the registration form sent to the group page, let it be sent with the assignment on Friday, on or before 11:59 p.m. Next week, we have the legal opportunity, career options in real estate industry, and the economic opportunities in the real estate industry. All right, so having gotten that out of the way, let me introduce our guest. So, as usual, we're gonna hear from him. Please note down questions you may like to ask him. I didn't get any questions from you last week for our guest. Um, and you all were fired up, you all were excited, but then I didn't hear questions from you. I thought the evidence of you being fired up was I asked some pertinent questions, but then please follow through what our guest will be sharing with us tonight and ask him, pertinent questions. So he's a seasoned real estate expert. He's a realtor. I dare use that word, Mr. Tayo, because that's what I consider you. And I think I know so much about real estate. No, maybe not so much. I know a little about real estate to be able to tell you that you're seasoned in a real estate expert. It takes some level of commitment and effort, research, into real estate to do what you do. I'm a lawyer, so I know it's sometimes it can be easy because I have some background of legal understanding about real estate. We did property law practice in uni and then at law school. But then I watch your videos, I listen to what you do, and then you command such authority that I think I I can confidently refer to you as a seasoned and real estate expert. And particularly the way you go about what you do, we've got lots of realtors who just post products, buy gracious garden, buy this house, buy that. But they do little or even nothing about educating their clients, which is an area that you have a strong and firm hold on. And that's one of the reasons why I admire you so much. And I think you have to be here. So Mr. Tayo Olutayo is here with us tonight, and is a good friend of mine. I'll make him introduce himself more. So after the introduction, he would talk to us about his journey in real estate, and then I'll ask him a few questions. So introduce yourself, Mr. Tayo. Share with us your journey in real estate, the hard times, the good times, how long it took you to make any sale if you have done, how you were able to hold through. You almost know all the estates in Lagos. How easy is it for you to to do that? All right, over to you, Mr. Tyre.
Okay, can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. Thanks for bringing me on.
Pleasure, sir.
Again, my name is Tayo Olutayo, not Olutayo.
Olutuyo.
And
Sorry.
yeah. um, all right, I'm just gonna go straight to it. My real estate journey. I've always loved real estate. I studied in Unilag, mechanical engineering. That was I got in year 2000, and at the time I used to be fascinated, with the buildings in Unilag. If you've been to Unilag, Faculty of Engineering, you see the buildings, Faculty of Science, the Senate building. I used to be fascinated by all of these buildings, and I do tell myself back then that if I had a chance, I probably should do something that has to do with either architecture or planning or building or something like that. And then, of course, the Third Mainland Bridge as well. When I'm coming from the mainland to wow, it's amazing. All of those things, so right from those days, this was going to Unilag year 2000. So right from then, 20 years ago, that's a long time. Anyway, from that period, that was when I started having, interest in real estate. But, after university, I did a couple of things, and then somehow I found myself in a telecoms company. And then the company I was in shut down in 2015, the company that up. And then I had a friend, a colleague back in the university who owns a property development company. So I joined him, and I worked with him for a while till about 2017 January. and I had to leave due to certain reasons. So we're beginning to have, you know. So from January 2017, um, I wasn't sure what I really wanted to do. So between January 2017 and I think around August, I wasn't doing anything really, you know. So sometime in August, I was invited for one of these real estate seminars. Uh, Before then, um, because of I got married late 2016. So after getting out of work for a period of time, I started getting into debt. Uh, I was beginning to have lots of money problems, and I couldn't pay my house rent, and I was asking myself, my wife would tell me to go and look for work. And then I'd be like, with all these debts I have, even if I'm earning 200,000 a month, by the time you take out money for upkeep of the family and everybody, I won't have nothing left. So I started thinking about something that can give me some good income, not 100,000 per month or 150,000 per month, which is what you get in most places. So I started thinking about doing something. So in the process of searching for what I can do, um, somebody invited me for the seminar. When I go into the seminar, it sounded really nice. I mean, I was happy with what I heard. People will come and tell you, I sold this, I made this and that. It sounded very cool and very easy. So I started by, taking some of these companies. I go to their website, pick up details of their properties, and then I post it on my Facebook wall. And then once in a while, I go for inspections, I record videos and stuff. So I did that between 2017, I think May, and I was doing that until I did that all through 2017, early 2018. I didn't make a single sale. Of course, at the time, I didn't have any money. So I didn't have money for adverts or anything like that. So in 2018, my wife, in January, we had a son, and things had gotten really bad at this point. And I was still telling my wife, I'm not ready to look for any job. I mean, I've worked for many years with nothing to show for it. So she went to report me to our pastor, and then the pastor came to the house and told me, Ty, you have to go and work. You cannot be sitting at home hoping that you want to do real estate because you are hearing people making a lot of money. And, so I spoke to one of the companies we were marketing for at the time. I reached out to the MD and told the person I wanted to work. So they offered me a job. Salary was about 45,000, and just for the sake of let me not stay in the house, because if I estimate cost of transport alone, I mean the whole salary is gone. But I had to take it to make my wife happy. And of course, this whole period too, I was trying to learn as much as I can and also do what I could with the resources at my disposal. Since I didn't have money for adverts, I was trying to post. I was posting online as much as I could, but that was also limited. So even if you post on Instagram 2,000 times a day, there's a limit to the reach that you can have. But then there's this Unilag guy who was always making sales. This guy is in his early 20s. As of 2018, he was in his final year in Unilag. This guy was always selling. He sells 6 plots, he sells 10 plots. You gotta be kidding.
I hope Tomiwa is hearing this. I hope Tomiwa is hearing this.
Yeah, I think even as of now, the guy should be about 22 or 23, but he's a graduate already. So I'm like, I mean, I'm over 10 years older than this guy. So if this guy can be selling like this, there's got to be something this guy knows that is helping him. There's got to be something that he knows I don't know. So fortunately for me, this place where I went to work, my first day of resumption, he was around. Thankfully I saw him. I was like, I mean, guy, please, we've been hearing of, how well you are doing the business. Can you just, what are you doing? So he told me, very simple though, he told me he posts on Nigeria Property Center. That's a listing website.
Yeah.
And this was in May 2018. as of May, I had not sold a single plot. So I've just been posting. People will hail me online. Some of my friends will say, Tayo, you're now a property man, big man. I haven't sold anything because I was always posting like 3-4 times a day, different properties, you know. So he told me he posts on Nigeria Property Center, and not just post. There's a plan called Premium Plus, where you pay about 30,000 to list a single property. So I did that. I think my salary was about, out of the 45,000, I used 30,000 to do
The
to
premium
do
plan.
a Premium Plus listing. I mean, what do I have to? Let me just try it. Thankfully, this was in May, June, I think June 23. I closed my first deal.
Wow.
It was it
G23,
was a
which year?
land to 2018.
Okay.
Yeah. So the land was good. I'd never been there, but somebody told me about it. I listed it because it looked like a good offer, and somebody reached out to me from the United States, asked me a lot of questions. So what I did was, because I had not been there, of course, I was in Atlanta once. This was in 1995 or thereabout, and he was asking me a lot of questions. So what I did was, I went on a Google Earth. I just looked at the old area, studied what I could. I spoke to the guys at the office over there, asked them a lot of questions about the area, the location, and everything. This guy kept coming with his questions, and I was able to answer him convincingly. Um, he told me he was going to send someone to inspect. So it was his dad. I linked his dad up with them at the office. They inspected. I didn't hear from him, you know. And then one day I was in my living room, I was just thinking about my life, like, where am I going with this, And then they called me that, the guy had paid for, I think, about 2 plots. A few days afterwards, I was paid 195,000 commission.
Wow.
Um, I was crazy. Like, this is unbelievable. I mean, I didn't leave my living room. Everything was in my living room. 195. Also, prior to that time, there's been a lady also that I've been speaking to about another land in Bejuleki. So this one in Abeokuta, they paid on a Friday, and on a Monday morning, those guys to call me that they paid for another land in Bejuleki. That one I got about 200 or something thousand. So within the space of about a week, I got almost 400,000. It was crazy. I could not believe it. So that was very started. So since then, I don't take Nigeria Party Center. As a matter of fact, most of my clients over the last 2 years, most of them, they come through Nigeria Party Center. So basically, at least on Nigeria Party Center, I do the Premium Plus. I do at least one. I put one property on Premium Plus every month. Some months I don't get any inquiries. Sometimes oops. Can you
We can hear you.
briefly?
That's power outage,
Okay,
right?
okay, it's fine.
All
Yeah,
right.
power outage. Yeah. So that was it. That was how I closed my first deal, and the other and another deal just a few days afterwards. Can you give me about 2 minutes to
Okay.
just
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
2 minutes back?
I'll take it off from here. Please let me know when you're back. So, guys, I hope we are learning, and it's resounding. I mean, it's resounding well with us. Let me get some feedback. For how far it has gone. Let me get some feedback. Anybody wants to go? What are the lessons? Even how far he has spoken. What are the lessons you can glean from his input? Yeah, let me hear from you. Go ahead.
Hello, this is Abigail.
Yes, Abigail, go ahead.
All right. What I've gotten so far now, there's a similarity between him and the lady that spoke last.
Yeah,
you
roots.
know, on doggedness. You know, I can't
Yeah,
imagine for him to continue, despite the fact that there didn't seem to be any way forward,
yeah,
not having any thriving, and then in just
yeah,
the space of 1 week was able to make
yeah,
so much. You know, it was
yeah.
a test of his faith and courage, and that that's actually a trait, yeah, it's trait that everyone should actually covet.
Yeah,
Because it's really not easy to take that long
yeah,
for
yeah.
the make it. And I can testify to Nigerian Property Center. So where
Okay.
I was working before, yeah, we went to property. So yeah, property. So I listed some properties on NCC, and it actually got a lot of responses.
Mm.
Yeah, so I agree with him on listing on
Okay.
NCC and property
Okay.
pro and all that.
All
Yeah.
right. All right. Great. Thank you very much. Okay, Mr. Taye, please continue.
Sorry about that. I don't
No,
know if
no,
you were
it's
hearing
fine.
the. Sorry.
We're in Nigeria.
Right. So okay. So that was a first, second deal. Okay, so I was going to say that, of course, the listing part, what that does basically is to, um, when people are searching, they're able to find you. But that is just
Mm.
one side of the whole thing. The other part
Mm.
is your ability to
Convert. Mm.
interact and
Mm.
talk to prospects
Mm.
and make them uh, make them see what you're trying to sell to them. I've sold to a couple of people abroad without even inspecting. So I use tools like Google Earth, like getting the coordinates to describe the location. Sometimes I even like the the road, the road network to get to the estate and things like that. To show to them. Another thing is you want to try to understand, or I try to understand, what the client needs. So you follow my page, you'll find that on Instagram, do things like come and buy real estate to secure your future,
Mm.
or if you don't buy real estate, you'll be poor and things like that. Because my personally, I'm not trying to convince anybody to buy anything. Okay, what I'm trying to, I want to put myself in a position where if you want to buy a property, you can find me. Okay, and then you
Yeah.
know,
Then we'll talk about what you need.
yeah, no, not me trying to say come and invest. 'Cause I don't do come and invest, come and invest. So that if you invest and things don't work out, you don't come back and say I'm the one that asked you to invest in. So if you want to invest and you come, and then we'll start discussing. So what I try to do is to try to understand what exactly the client is looking for.
Yeah.
And if there's a way you communicate with them, and they will open up to you. They will tell you this is what I'm trying to do. And if I don't have those properties, or if the property they inquire about cannot help them to achieve what they're looking for, I'll explain to them that, well, this property is good, but it cannot help you achieve what you're trying to do. They'll be like, okay, thank you for at least, clarifying things to me and things like that. We have realtors who would tell prospects that a land acquisition in process land, and they'll tell you it's a buy and build,
Hmm.
just so that the,
They can get their
the person
commission.
can buy and collect commission. So we don't do things like that. We have to be honest, and, by God's grace, I had a client who made a down payment for a property, and she contacted me on Friday. That was the first time she reached out to me. No, on Saturday, and today, she made a deposit for one land. And in the course of our discussion, she said she's in the UK. She was searching online, and she was speaking to about 10 different people at the same time. you know, and this is what they do actually. So the prospect is talking to you, talking to other people, okay? But I remember that day she called me, we were chatting on WhatsApp. So the chat was getting too long. I was like, okay, madam, please, can I call you? She said, okay, you can call. So we spoke at length. I explained to her about titles, about this, about that. She told me what she wanted to do, and I told her, well, and she told me her budget. And I said, well, this is a few properties. And she chose one of them, sent someone to inspect on Monday, and then she made the down payment today. So the thing is that I was able to get her what she was looking for. I mean, if you're looking for something and you find someone that helps you to get what you're looking for, it's, so
That's
that's
incredible.
what I try to do basically.
That's incredible. I mean, personally, I've learned so much, just with these few minutes that you've had to talk to us, even as much as I may be thinking I'm doing personally, I've got to learn so much from what you've shared with us. I don't need to start sharing the details of it, but then I know what to start doing differently and what to start adding to what I'm doing currently. One thing that I want us to take note from what he's saying is that he listed on Nigerian Property Center, quite all right. But then he's letting us know that it goes beyond listing. So when they eventually find you, that doesn't end. I mean, that is not the end. That is not where the sale happens. So how the sale happens is when they eventually find you and you are able to take them through the journey in the right way. You communicate with them, you give them the right information, they are able to repose confidence in you, and then that is how and where closing happens. So what does that reveal to us? That is beyond us just going about looking for uh, customers, looking for clients, looking for people to buy. But then when you eventually find them, are you able to convert them to clients from being prospects? So that is that. Please, I want your questions to please keep coming in. Send them to the chat page. But then I have some questions for you, Mr. Tayo. So, how well has real estate paid off for you? So you were without job for a while. You ran into debt. Your wife kept pressurizing you to go get a job, and you know you had so much financial issues. But then boom, you bumped into real estate, and in fact for over a year you didn't make any sale in real estate until you made in August 2018. And since then I'm sure a lot has happened. So how well, because 90% of us who are on this academy are new entrants into real estate. So we want to see some prospect, and that's why on Saturday we'll be looking at the economic prospects in real estate. But then, as a precursor to Saturday's teaching, can you give us an idea how well has real estate paid off for you, perhaps comparatively to a 9 to 5 jobs, the 9 to 5 job, brother? Go ahead.
Okay, well, I didn't have any luck with 9 to 5 job. I worked in a telecoms company for about 5 years, and after the 5 years, by the time the company shut down, I was being owed salary of almost 2 years. Not just me, all of us, because for I think about 4 years, they were paying us half salary. I think for
Wow.
about 2 years, we were getting 50%. And there was a
Embarrassing.
time where we didn't even get anything for about 6 months. So when the company shut
Wow.
down in 2015, they were owing us cumulative salary of almost 2 years. And then after that, when I worked in my friend's company, it was working like I mean, no matter the effort, it's never enough. I mean, I'll go to work, come back very late, very stressful, and my boss still thinks I'm lazy, I'm not working at things like that. It was so embarrassing. So the thing with real estate is rewarding, but of course the amount of effort that one puts in also determines what you get out of it. You for me personally, because of today we got lots and lots of realtors out there. I mean, look at this woman who said she was speaking to myself and 9 other people.
Nine other people.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. Even some prospects, they know how much commission we get. They know all of these things. So how do you work around these things? So the business right now is not easy, and I'm not gonna come here to tell you that if you get into real estate, you start making big money. You may if you have a big uncle somewhere, and then you tell your uncle you're interested, and he comes and buy property of 50 million. If you get 10 or 15% of that, you don't have to do that. But for those of us, no connections. I mean, I don't have any friend who have bought from me. So every of my clients are people that just came from either mostly through Nigeria Party Center. Yeah, no friends, no family members, nothing. But for some of us, we have friends, family members, colleagues, and what have you who can buy from us. But the point I want to make here is that the effort you put in will determine how much you get out of it. If you go, there are folks in this business who spend as much as 500,000 on adverts on a monthly basis. What that means is that these people are being seen by a lot more people. So there's a higher chance that some guys, will sell more than those of us that are not doing as much as they are. We have some realtors, for example, on Instagram, who have as many as 5,000, 30,000 followers. Okay, if these guys are posting consistently, doing videos and what have you, they stand a higher chance of selling more than somebody who has 500 followers and you're not even posting regularly, or you're not posting things that would attract people. But of course, the reward part comes from your sale, and to make a sale, we need to put in the work. If we don't put in the work, we're not going to move. Me personally, because of debts and what have you, most of the most of my early earnings went back to paying debts, and I had house rent that was piled up, so many things, you know. But I always try to uh, you know, be consistent with Nigeria Quality Center. So the 30,000 for Premium Plus, and then the normal subscription, on a monthly basis. I don't miss out on that. But I would have loved to grow my social media like Instagram or Facebook, grow my following. And there's no way that will have happened organically. I have to spend money on adverts, and you have to spend a good amount of money. If you're selling real estate and you're doing $5 a day on Instagram, you're just throwing the money away, because we got people doing $20 a day. They stand a higher chance of getting. So if you want to do Instagram and get lots of people seeing you on Instagram, you need to spend lots of money, $10 per day consistently for maybe a month, or $15, $20. So the amount of effort you put in determines what one will get out of it. That's what I think. That's what I have.
So, can you confidently say over the years it's been really worth it in real estate?
Yeah, it is. That's what I've been doing. That's what I've been doing. I mean, now I have 2 children, and then that's what I've been using to take care of my family, and
Fantastic.
of course,
So let me ask.
like, yeah, yeah.
Go ahead. Let me.
Yeah, I was going to say that my this is just the beginning of my real estate journey, because I've not
Wait,
even started. What I want to
wait.
do is not just
Yes.
selling properties. Yeah, so this is just
Actually,
the
what I
beginning
was
of
going to
the.
ask you when it looked like I was interjecting was I was going to ask you, what is your vision? What are your aspirations for real estate? So it was just a nice way to glide into that. So perhaps you just take it off from
Okay.
there. What is your vision? What are your aspirations for real estate? Do you just want to make some bucks through commission, and then
No, no,
do you
no,
have some
no, no.
bigger vision beyond commissions in real estate?
Yes, yes. I don't. I would go beyond just selling. What I want to do. What I really want to do is property development. I mentioned at the beginning that back then, like, I used to admire the buildings, the structures, and that is something I want to do. I want to build houses for people to live in, houses to sell, houses to let out. That's what I'm praying. I'm hoping that I can get into.
Yeah.
So this for me is just the beginning of the whole thing. This is not
Yeah.
I've not even
Very great.
started.
Very great. So, Mr. Tayo said after he's been without job for so long, he's been in financial, crisis. He just found someone who invited him for a real estate seminar, and it could be the same way that you got a link, to enter into Lagos Real Estate Academy, and this could be the life-changing point for you. You know, you heard from him how that real estate have paid so much, and it's not even so much about what he has earned in real estate as much as where he's going. So that's why I had to ask him that question. His vision, his aspiration. So please, for the time that we have in Lagos Real Estate Academy, I would like to encourage you. This could be that turning point. This could be that shift in someone's life, depending on how you take what we're doing in Lagos Real Estate Academy. Um, I would also like to ask you a question before I take the questions that have been um, on the chat. So, what is that question? Okay, so I think you've partly answered it. The place. Okay, let me ask you the one you've not answered. The place of I see you take your time deliberately to make videos about titles, to make videos about real estate. What's the place of that in your success in real estate? What connection does it have with they have the sales you've made? You spend ample time talking about square meters, talking about house types, talking about titles, educating clients. Do we really need to stress ourselves that much? So what's the place of that to your brand?
Okay. The reason I started doing that is because if you look at number one, I wanted to put a face to what I was doing. What I was doing on my Instagram page. If you check out most of my videos, I don't record my face. So people, like you see people will video, they stand in front of the line and say, this is so and so estate, things like that. And the reason I don't do that is because um, you know, the way I speak, I'm unable to project adequately for if you're holding a camera and you're standing far away from me, I'm
Yeah.
unable to project enough for you to be able to hear me. So there's no point staying far away and then somebody is trying to video me, and unless you come with a professional camera and there's a microphone somewhere. Well, I don't have
Yeah.
all of that. So I
Yeah.
record my videos holding the phone and then recording. So
Okay.
without seeing my face, but I wanted my face to be on my page for people to at least know who is behind this page, things
Yeah.
like that. So I was thinking of how to do that, and then I thought about, well, maybe I should start doing, videos and just talk about different things. And talking about how it has helped me, of course, it has. Last year was a little bit challenging in terms of sales. I did a couple of sales in May, I think May and June. I did some sales back to back, and that was it. Okay, I think between May and June, I think I did about three deals. My first deal, the whole of 2019, was in May. The first deal I closed, and then I did, I think, two in June, and that was it. Nothing until, but I kept on, posting and doing all of these things. And then in December, somebody just called me. Apparently, she has been seeing a lot of my videos, you know. So she said, okay, I want to invest in this property. It was a house, you know, and I sent her all the details and all the information and what have you. I was expecting it to be like all this. Before I knew it, she had sent the down payments. I
No.
could not believe it. What's going on here? I mean, we've never interacted that much, but she's always seen my videos. And she just, I think because of the videos, she just feels like, I think this guy knows what he's doing. I think I'm trusted. She's in the United States. The house we were talking about, she did not inspect. She didn't send anyone to inspect, like
Yeah.
some folks will do,
But
just,
you've done such a great deal of work for her to repose such level of confidence in you.
yeah. So and she has finished paying for the property. She
Wow.
finished paying, uh, and then she bought a unit, and
Mm.
her father sister who
Mm.
also subscribed for 2 units,
Wow.
you know, and that was how last year
No,
ended,
that
you
was
know.
good Christmas for you.
Yeah, so no, this was not even from Nigeria Party Center.
Yeah.
This was from my WhatsApp status, because I
Yeah.
post the videos on my WhatsApp status. I post a
Mm.
part of it, and then I put the link to the YouTube video. So
Mm.
this was, I think that's, and I know that there are some other people who are watching, and they're just
Yeah.
waiting for the time when they'll say, okay, Tayo. For example, somebody reached out to me just yesterday.
Mm.
Of course, he has been seeing my status as well. He said, okay,
Mm.
Ty, you know what? Send me details of all the CFO properties you have.
Mm.
I sent everything to him, I think about 8 or so. And he said, okay, I'm coming on Saturday to see one, two, three, four, five. You know, this was someone we never had any serious interaction as well, but he has been seeing my status,
Mm.
you know.
Okay.
So I think trust is very important in real
Mm.
estate. So if you're able to do anything to make people trust you and know that this
Mm.
person is a professional, it will
Mm.
go a long way.
Mm. Fantastic. Fantastic. So one lesson I can glean from it is the place of consistency. It was a strength you started with, such that for the time that you were not even making sales, you were posting properties like 5 times a day, 6 times a day. And there is so much strength in consistency. When people see you doing the same thing over and over and again, it creates this feeling in their subconscious that this guy seems to know what he's doing, and it comes with that confidence also. It comes with that confidence also. So we shouldn't allow anything to deter our consistency. Consistency matters so much, and it's one of the soul of business, like we hear very often. So it was from consistent feeds on his social media that someone just emerged from the blues and called him. So a lot of times you may not even know what you are doing. You may not even know how far reaching the impact is. But if you know what is right to do, which is what we're talking about here, consistency, keep doing it, keep posting, keep posting. Someone who may not be telling you anything will just call you one day from the blues because they've observed you over time. They've observed. And one thing it creates is that you may not even be making sales, but then it creates this, brand for you that this guy is doing well. He's doing well. So consistency can make people feel that you are doing well, whereas you're just encouraging yourself. You're just putting effort, and that's one thing that I would like us to take from this. Take consistency as a lesson from this. So let me take some questions from the chat. So we have Chike asking, how do you get to know those properties you market? Do you go fishing for properties? How do you get to know those properties you market? Do you go fishing for properties? Okay, yeah, even though we're definitely going to take this question in probably our next class. Yeah, definitely. Career options in real estate. And yeah, Mr. Tayo would answer. Okay, Mr. Tayo, just answer that. Answer that. Then I'll make a comment about it. So how do
Okay,
you
well,
get properties? That's simply the question. Yeah.
we have lots of groups for realtors, and the leader of a lot of these groups, many of them are the ones who actually, they just come and say, okay, there's this new developer with this new property and what have you. But
Mm.
personally, for me personally, one of the things I do is first I try to inspect. So most of the properties that I have on my page, I have visited. I know the place. And number two, I do. If I'm not convinced the property, that means that if I cannot convince myself to buy,
Yeah.
I'm not putting it on my page or anything
That's
like that.
instructive.
Wow, it's
That's
gone again.
instructive.
So I don't sell any property. I don't sell any property I cannot buy. So any property I have on my list, if you call me to ask about it, I'll talk and talk and talk and talk to you tomorrow. You know, and you know, you'll feel like, man, I need to buy this property.
Yeah. And that power of conviction can drive sales very forcefully. Fantastic.
Yes.
So let me make a comment about that. Thank you very much, Mr. Tayo. So Chike, the reason Lagos Real Estate Academy is there is not just to induct you into real estate, not just to get you to start doing real estate. There are so many people out there. The market out there is saturated. What would make your voice to be heard in the noise in the market is the quality of information, not just quantity. The quality of information you have, the authority you command about real estate, what you know about real estate. So it is just like it from Mr. Tayo. It is not just about you eventually getting clients to contact you from your post. When they contact you, how do you take it from there? That is the essence of Lagos Real Estate Academy. The essence of Lagos Real Estate Academy is to equip you sufficiently with all these back-to-back teachings that we're having, with all these series, all this information from Mr. Tayo, from Ruth last week, from the course videos, from the assignment that takes you to research. These things are deliberate. The assignment that takes you to research, that helps you to know more. That's why I keep telling you to please take seriously everything we're doing. They are deliberate. They are not just to get you busy. They are to equip you. When you look back in retrospect after the academy, and as many of you that are going to join straight into business, when you look back in retrospect, you appreciate what we're doing, because you'll be starting from a very good pedestal, from a very good leverage point. So why am I saying all this? The very thing that we will put last is that question from Chike. You understand? The very thing that we put last, we don't want to start, we don't just want to take, these are the products. Oh yeah, it's the market, with half-baked knowledge, with no information, with little information, so we don't want you to start on that note. You understand? So we are definitely going to introduce you to products, but before then, we want to equip you. We want to equip you with sufficient knowledge, with value that will help you drive sales and help you go far. I'll help you go far also in real estate. So following from Mr. Tayo's answer and response to your question, Chike, so we would introduce you to brokerage firms that have different, that I told you that registration for one of them would enlist you to market several properties. And trust me, even there are lots of briefs I'm going to share with you at the tail end of the academy. So I don't want you to just get into market with little or no information and begin to struggle. I want you to enter the market on a strong note and with a farther side, or how do I put it, with strong vision for real estate beyond just a hustler. That is it. So let me take another question. Abigail is saying, okay, Mr. Jason is saying, what's your Instagram page? Can you quickly share that with us?
Yeah, Land Edge Realty.
Okay,
Land Edge Realty.
Land Edge Realty. Land Edge
Realty.
Realty. Realty.
Realty.
Yeah, Land Edge Realty. I'll type it on the group page after this so that you can check him up and see the great work he's doing. Okay, so Mr. Abigail, I'll take your question, Tomiwa. Abigail is asking, we've learned from this academy that integrity is key. How do you verify the authenticity of the title to the properties that you market? We've learned from this academy that integrity is key. How do you verify the authenticity of the title to the properties that you market? I'm sure in passing you mentioned something close to that. So Mr. Tai, over to you.
Oh yeah, well, basically what I do is I request for it. So if you tell me that this land has got a certificate of occupancy, I'll request for it. So until I get it, I'm not going near it.
Convinced.
Another thing you can do, if you have the money, you can do an independent search. Reach out to get a surveyor to go to the site, pick coordinates, and they will chat.
Yeah.
But that's not all. I mean, chatting. What chatting tells you is that the land is not, maybe it's not committed or something, or it falls under a certain excision.
Yeah.
You also want to be sure. You want to have document that tells you that gives proof of ownership. So if a developer says that this land is mine, that there's got to be a deed of assignment that transfers the land to the developer. If there's no deed of assignment, because some of these developers, so they buy this land and pay in installments, so there should be something like maybe a contract of sale or a memorandum of understanding. So these documents, they may not want to share them online, but if you go to their office, these are documents that they can show you. But without these documents, if you, I mean, personally, for most of the things that I sell, I have seen the documents, and I know that it is. And those ones that are execution in process, you also want to be sure that they are not committed. So you can do an independent search, or you can request for their own search report. So tell the developer, let's see the search report. If you can't do your own independent.
Fantastic. And last week's assignment was research the story of someone who suffered fraud or loss from real estate. One of our students, reported the case of a reporter who, a developer rather, a developer who was selling a property that didn't belong to them. So they bought. I didn't know who that is. Please, if you're the one who wrote this story, please just raise the hand. They had sold the property to this person, and then they complained to a lawyer. But then, upon investigation, they discovered that the portion of land that they even sold to this client was not part of the portion of land that they bought from the community. So, quite all right, they bought the land from the community, but then they probably were selling the land and we're still selling more and more and more. You understand? So that is the place of doing due diligence and confirming, the validity of the title of, the land that you're selling. But then, by and large, to a safe point to start from is to do business with proven. There's a company that I started business with that I'm not doing business for them again. The reason is this: from one or two indices, I've come to realize that they are lacking in integrity in the real sense of it. They talk about integrity so much, but it's far from what they do. So it was a flashpoint for me that they were not credible to do business with. If you cannot be faithful to me, your realtor, then how can I be sure that you'll be faithful with my clients who invest their hard-earned money into your business? So I stopped marketing for them. I lost peace totally with them because it was too apparent. They are all here and there, their name is all here and there, but then I had problem with their integrity. And every company that I do business with, first, they are one of the top real estate firms there are. And then I've seen from the way they communicate, with the way they handle relationship, even with us clients, credibility. So they don't hide facts. They even encourage us to tell, clients the way things are. This property is awaiting excision, and this is the prospect for it. This property has excision, this is the prospect for it. This property has a CFO, and is the prospect for it. So those I have my own parameters to assess, the credibility of the company themselves first, before even coming to individual properties that they have. I look at the company, is it credible? And then, if I can vouch for them, then we do business with them. Let me go to the next question. Tomiwa is saying, is it possible can someone be a realtor and at the same time be a home inspector? So I asked him, what is a home inspector? A person, answer, a person who is trained to evaluate the safety of a house, from the electrical wiring to the plumbing, to the foundation. So I've never come across that term before, home inspector. So basically, it's asking, can you be a realtor and then be a home inspector, whatever that means? Or is there, let's extend it, is there anything that you cannot do with being a real estate? You can't combine real estate realtorship with.
Okay. Okay. Well, is the home inspector thing? That guy is not in Nigeria, is he? Because we don't do home
He is,
inspection here.
and he's a bloody Unilag student.
So what are you expecting? I mean, here we don't do well. These days, there are government agencies that send people to inspect houses in under construction. But they just do those things to make money. If you bribe them, they'll just go away without.
Yeah. Structural checks.
You can combine whatever you're doing with real estate. And of course, to succeed in the business, you need to put in a lot of effort as well. But so if you're able to do something on the side and still put in the required effort to succeed in the business, then it's all right. You can combine. There are people who are working full time and they're still doing this business. I know of a lady who's an insurance person, and then she still does real estate. So she uses her weekends for inspections. And sometimes when she has an inspection during the week, she calls someone in her team who lives close to the location of the estate or land or house, and ask the person to please take the client to inspect, things like that. So you can always find a way around it, definitely.
Fantastic, very great. Okay, I think we've had enough time with Mr. Tayo. I actually told him 30 minutes. I didn't even know to stay this long. God bless you. So I want one of our students to, express their gratitude to you. So I'm going to call Timmy. Timmy, are you there? Put on your video and let's hear some words of gratitude from you to Mr. Tayo.
Good evening, everyone.
I want to see you. Because are you hiding makeup or you're a man now? So you can't be hiding.
I'm in a dark place. That's why.
Is it toilet? Are you shitting?
Dark place. Wow.
Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Tai. I mean, this was a very educative, insightful class. I mean, I feel that if we heard everything that you said and if we practice it, we can succeed. So thank you very much for being very open, sharing your heart and sharing your journey. Also very inspiring. I mean, I think your story is very, very inspiring. Personally, I had to update my status immediately. That if you have a dream, don't give up on it. So thank you very, very much. Thank you very much for this. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Tayo. I really can't appreciate you enough on such a short notice.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you very much. We pray that.
So I can leave. Okay.
Yeah. We pray that every vision and
listening.
every aspiration that you have for real estate, your plans, God will make them happen big in the name of Jesus. God will wow you, and God will blow up your business.
Amen. Thank you for bringing me up. Amen. Thank you for bringing me up here. I enjoyed myself.
With all pleasure. With all pleasure. Thank you. You can leave. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
How do I leave?
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I'm sure you heard enough. Even me, that I think I'm doing a bit. I've heard so much.
Yeah.
And I'm personally fired up. I think there's some bit that I still of necessity must add to my own practice. But then let me tell you something very briefly as we round up. And Abigail takes the attendance. So quite all right, I understand that the real estate business is saturated. It seems saturated. But then if there's so much noise in the market, you almost cannot hear people distinctively. There's so much noise here. But then I read this from Mr. Olawale Ayilara's book. That's Hustle. Mr. Olawale Ayilara is the MD CEO of Landway Group. So I read this from his book that in the market is so saturated, not just real estate markets. It's so saturated that you need an amplification for your voice to be heard. And in the noise of the market, if someone holds the megaphone, yeah, it amplifies their voice, and you can almost hear their own voice distinctively in the midst of the so much market and the noise. Have you not been in market? There's so much noise, so you can barely hear yourself. But then suddenly all these guys that are doing promos, they drive down with their truck, they drive out with their truck, and you start hearing so much blast, bedu everywhere. And they are saying, come and buy Nokia 2,500. In the midst of that noise in the market, someone's voice has been amplified. So what can amplify your voice that you heard in the midst of a noisy, saturated market? Information, knowledge, brand. That is what can. Abigail, I can see your hand. I'll take your question. Can information, brand can amplify your voice, and that is the place of Lagos Real Estate Academy. I'll be doing you so much harm, maybe not necessarily so much harm. I will not be doing you so much good if I just introduce real estate to you and tell you that there's so much prospect in real estate, and as a matter of fact, there's so much. As saturated as the market is, you heard from Ruth last week that as saturated as it is, so also is the opportunity in real estate. So I'll not be doing so much good if I just introduce real estate to you and say, oh, you can do real estate and make money without equipping you with what you need. And that is the essence of the Lagos Real Estate Academy. I told you how much this course is worth, but then this is being generously offered for free for this set. And I hope that when you think about this experience, you have God to be thankful for. So trust me, if you finish this curriculum and you have a good progress card and you want to do real estate, you fly high. You fly high. I am very sure the curriculum has been packaged from over the years experience in real estate, and from one seminar to the other, and a proper understanding of what makes people to fly, which we ourselves are still trying to keep up to, as a matter of fact. So if you start on this pedestal, you will do very well in real estate. You will have so much amplification for your voice to be heard. And I pray that you will be fine in Jesus' name. So let's hear from Abigail. Abigail, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It's just a side comment. It's not like it's a question or anything. But
Okay.
there's been so much test that one of the business that someone can start without capital or without money is real estate.
Yeah.
From what we've been learning so far from last week and this week, it appears that statement might just be a myth.
Okay.
If you say want to go into real estate and you just want to be putting on your statuses, your WhatsApp status, your Instagram, and all that, it's like what Mr. Tayo mentioned, that it will limit you. It's quite limiting. So if you really want to amplify your voice, you want to go high, you want to go far, besides the knowledge, you have to invest financially by way of advertisement. And like the lady last week, was her name Ruth or so, yeah. She said she had someone who was going to a hotel, to buy Coke of 1,000 naira, just so that she can mingle with the right kind of people, sell it, product. So I'm wondering whether that statement that real estate can be commenced without money, if it's really not a myth, they're just deceiving us. Now the truth is being revealed.
Okay, now let me respond to your comment. Now, it is not a myth. It is not a myth. To begin real estate, you can start at no cost, and it all depends on how much you know. I understand the fact that people have different scenarios. It took Mr. Tayo that far to make his own first sale. Now, me, all I did was post on my Instagram. All And to make my first sale, it was just an awareness from my mother-in-law that I started real estate. And my sister-in-law bought two plots of land from me, 3 million. I was paid 20% commission for that 3 plot of land, for that 3 million. That was about 600,000. And it was about just 1 month that I started real estate. You get? So, see, after that, I made several sales that I didn't do any advertisement on. So let me be frank with you. So I mean it when I say that's one of the lowest entry barriers. So we are not required by regulation to have a school start. You are not required by regulation to have some certification. You don't necessarily need to do sponsorship, and advertisement would help you go far, would give you some high rate of conversion of sales. But then they are not in themselves limitation to you entering into real estate or achieving sales, because they were not to me. You understand? And there are a lot of other people like, you understand, who made their sales without advertisement, without running ads. You understand? So, like I said, your network is your net worth. So if you have that network of people who can afford the property, or you move close to people, so because of sales, because of business, some people join big churches, they join King's Court, they join House on the Rock deliberately, they join Elevation because they know that's where people with the big box go to. So they join departments, they join close groups, they get to know people. You know, the people that you know are the people that would most likely do business first with you, just as it was the case with me. So that is why the real estate industry in Nigeria is a low entry barrier estate, and you can actually begin to make money from it, you know, without spending so much. However, the case for spending is that the more you spend, the more you most likely will earn. You understand? So if you advertise, you reach more people, and then you get more people to view, you have stronger visibility, you have wider visibility, and it is the people that see you that will contact you. You understand? That's the case for it, and I am a strong advocate for that. Invest back into your business, gain more visibility, do more advertisement and more promos. Do I make sense, Abigail? Abigail,
Absolutely.
do I make sense? Okay.
Yes,
So that's it.
absolutely. Thank you very much.
That's it. So do we have any other questions? So Abigail will take our attendance now, so we can have call this a day. So I think that's it. So
Okay, should I
Abigail,
do a
please
roll call based on those that are here?
just do it. Everybody, please unmute your mic so that you can. Or well, if you don't, if she calls
It's
your name,
already
maybe you
here.
just. All right. Okay.
In the course of the meeting, some persons left and others
Okay.
came back. When we started, let me just call based on when we started, and let's know if they're still here.
Okay.
Okay, I will call myself. I'm here. It's Chike Nwata.
Present. Live. I'm live.
Here. Here.
Awful.
Hello, can you hear me, please?
Yeah, we can hear you. Chike present, CBAPS present.
CBAP, what's the name? What's the
Cyril
name?
Babalola.
Cyril Babalola. Okay.
Present.
All right, thank you. Okay, the praying mother is actually host. And then Yemi Rose.
Present.
Thank you. Adeke
Present.
Wale.
Shibowale present.
Fumilola Shibowale. Fumilola Odewale. Fumilola Odewale.
Present. Present. Present.
Amiwa Ona present.
Amiwa is present.
Jesutemi Ayola. Jesutemi. Is Jason still here?
I saw him just now. He's still here. Just Femi, your mic is on mute. He's present. Mark him present. Just go ahead. Mark him present.
Anyese, Uko. Anyese. Bogan. Bogan is present.
It's Timmy Vaughan present.
Oh, all right. Thank you. Joy. Is it Joy Wupe?
Yes, present. Present.
Yes. Okay, who is Infinite Light?
Huh?
Signed in as Infinite S5 Light.
Okay. Don't know that. The person is not even online.
Okay. Is there anybody who is still here that I didn't mention?
Okay. Okay.
Maybe. Okay, yeah. All right.
Present.
Right.
Thank you very much. That will be all.
Okay. Okay. That's fine. So I think that is all for tonight. Let me see if there's any other thing. Okay, our groups. So Toby is going to send. Toby has done the splitting of the group, so she will send the group split to the group page. So you're at liberty. You can set up a WhatsApp group for your group, and then amidst yourself, you appoint a group leader. So on Saturday, each group would present. So I would don't worry, just prepare the assignment. Individually, do your assignment to send it, but then appoint someone to be on steady to represent the group for the presentation on Saturday. So I would let group 1 know what they are presenting, and then let group 2 also know what they're presenting. So you'd have to have, let's say, 5 to 7 minutes to do your presentation. So the person who does this week would not do next week. Another person would represent the group. I think that is that about that. Thank you very much. God bless you. Have an awesome weekend. I've not forgotten week 2 video. I've not gotten my phone. I would get it hopefully tomorrow. I've had malaria. Thank God I'm recovering already. Everything is fine with me, except that last night I was just wrapping around my wife like a baby. Because when I've never had malaria this strong before.
Yeah.
So, but then I'm fine now.
Yeah, thank
fine.
God.
All right.
Thank God.
All right. Thank you, guys.
I would
See you.
suggest that you do maybe morning jogging so that you feel. I felt
Morning jogging.
Yeah, I felt malaria last week, so I started exercising. After sweating much, everything left. That is beyond of course, our covenant with Jesus. I'm talking about your.
Okay, so I should sweat it out.
Yeah, if you sweat a lot, yeah.
I'll think about that tomorrow morning. All right. God bless you guys. Okay, question.
Thank you.
I have a suggestion for your malaria. You can take more fruits too.
More fruits. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Bye.
Apple
See you Saturday. All right. Thank you, Fumilola. I'll do that. Bye, guys.
I'm going to convert the video because of the MB the size. So I might have to convert it to a smaller size before maybe I send it to.
Okay, but then the original quality will be on your laptop, right?
Yes, you'll be with me. Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. All right. God bless you. See you Saturday.
Thank you.